Welcome everybody. And so today I want to talk about Apex E3. This has come across my attention recently, and I've been working and talking with the team over at Apex, and they've really put together a really solid AI-driven analytics platform. I mean, this thing really has everything. It's quite impressive. You can check them out, first of all, by going to their website, apexe3.com. You can learn a little bit about them, about their product and features, and their about us and what they do. So kind of a little bit of insight onto what they are. As I mentioned, that they use AI, artificial intelligence, to collect data across multiple assets, across all cryptocurrency markets, from volume screening to like arbitrage opportunities, to spreads, a lot of different stuff that's really that you really haven't seen yet on any other analytics platform. So here, and they have real-time level 2 and level 3 order book data from over 5,000 digital asset markets. The analytics, alongside over 50 standard moving averages and stochastic indicators, Alice, which is what they've named their AI model, uses the level 2 and order 3 books. As a result, can automate the detection of sustained volume, order imbalances, tight spreads, and the presence of market moving whales. So, and we're going to look at all of this here in just a little bit. So basically what this platform does is it uses that artificial intelligence to quite literally track everything that you can possibly want to track, as far as data, as far as analytics on a platform. And they're kind of bringing it all in one, so we don't have to have multiple platforms open. So one thing that did kind of catch my attention right here is this CogX right here. So what I understand of CogX, it's a prestigious global leadership summit and festival of artificial intelligence and emerging technology, and they hold this event in London. One thing that you noticed, when I was kind of researching this cog, and they have a link up here that brings you to this page, is right here. I mean, we see Apex E3 winning best AI product in financial services and fintech, and they beat out some pretty high profile people. I believe IBM was on that list, and of course there's other winners of what this CogX is. And this was recently, so this was just this past year, or just this year, back in June, that they won this award. So pretty impressive that a new platform in the crypto realm won an award for this. And you can kind of see, just looking at some of these other awards that they handed out. I mean, here's Boston LTD, here's BBC. Everybody's heard of that. Let's see. I think I saw. See, Onfito's on here for an award in different. Look at SpaceX, best innovation in space. Let's see. The Gates Foundation, of course. Big names across different industries all attend this festival. So to see Apex E3 win an award for fintech is pretty impressive and notable that they got some pretty good recognition there. Okay, so let's hop in here into this screener, and let's see, or this platform, and see what we can dig up on this screener here. So Up here at the top, we can see there are multiple tabs. Now, these tabs might take a little bit of time to go through, so we're going to kind of break this up into like a three-part episode, three-part series. So we're not sucking up too much time going through the whole platform all in one go. So we have the screener here, this is what you see here, so we can track changes in volume, we can track price changes over different time frames, and we have some other indicators that we can filter the platform out from. Real quick into Insight, now we can look at arbitrage and spreads, order books across different exchanges, and the markets is a pretty neat feature which really takes it more in depth, so we can see the order books across all different exchanges, news feed, and all that wonderful stuff that we'll get to in another episode. And the knowledge base. Now this is a really nice feature that I'm pleased to see. Let me go back to my screener. That I'm pleased to see that the team has taken the time to do and make here. So this is like a walkthrough, step-by-step guide when you're new to this platform to learn about the different features that they have. So if you're lost or need something better explained, you can go through each of these guides. So let's go, just for example, let's go into the beginner. So let's say we want to learn, okay, let's start here. We want to learn how to create a watch list. So we can click on that and it'll take you through a step-by-step guide on how to create that watch list. It's very nicely done, very simple to follow, very easy. So it shouldn't take you guys any time to learn. Let's say, well, let's go back to, and then let's go into intermediate. Okay, so let's discover real-time insights across markets and exchanges. So again, that's that Insights tab that we'll be looking at. And again, a step-by-step walkthrough. Pretty neat. That's really interesting to see for this platform. Okay, so let's get into the screener part. Okay. So first thing we'll notice, obviously we have a search market tab up here on the left. We can type in a coin that we are looking for. So one that I'm looking for right now is the hot topic is Algo. So if I type in the coin that I want to look at, now it'll bring up all the different pairs across all the different exchanges that this coin is listed on, and I can filter my search that way. So we here is a swap against the US dollar pair. Here's a futures contract, and then of course against the euro PAX. Here's another swap, and so forth. So you can search that way. So right here in this big part, now this is the big interesting thing that we all want to see, we all love to look at, is we want to see where the volume is, what is moving across multiple time frames, and so forth. So let's start right here with the exchange. Now we can filter. Now, first of all, what this is looking at is this, we have no filter, so we can see our base pair is just listing everything against the US dollar pair against every exchange. So if we wanted to, for example, narrow this down and we only want to look at, let's just say Bitcoin pairs. Okay, so we can come right up here to this top here. Now these are all of the quotes or what is being paired against. So we have Bitcoin pair. So if we want to see all the coins listed against Bitcoin pair, or all coins listed against Ethereum pair or the Tether pair, and so forth, so forth, so forth. So let's just look. We want to search at all the Bitcoin pairs. So now we see our quote has changed to Bitcoin, and then all of the altcoin pairs that are against Bitcoin. So now we're still showing all of the exchanges, and there's a nice long list of everything that it tracks, and it's quite long. So let's say we want to narrow this down just a little bit more. So we can go right here to the left where it says exchanges, and we can click this drop down menu and we can choose what exchange that we want to filter on. So I'm an altcoin trader. I want to look at only Binance. So now it's going to filter out only Binance, and it's going to show me all of the altcoins against the Bitcoin pair. Now, if I wanted, I can add in another exchange. So if I wanted to look at all the Binance and let's see, is KuCoin on here? No, I guess HitBTC will work too. So now it'll show me all the Binance and HitBTC pairs. Okay, so if I just wanted to only look at Binance from there, I can just simply click that X and it'll delist all of the HitBTC pairs. Okay, so exchange, our base pairs, and our quote. So we're kind of narrowing it down, our search. So it's got this view market tab, which we'll get into in episode 3. So what this is just a quick link to take you to the more in-depth analysis and details of each particular asset. That's the same button that is up here on markets, except that it's just a quick link to that particular coin. Okay, so let's move on over here to the volume. So now what this is showing us is all the volume over the last 30 days, all of the volume over the last 24 hours, and all of the volume in the last 24 hours versus the last 30 days. So this is the change in the volume in the last 24 hours versus over the last month. So let's see here, for example, EOS against the Bitcoin pair in the last 30 days has had almost 20,000 Bitcoin volume over the last 30 days. Over the last 24 hours has had 1.4 thousand in volume, which is 116% increase in volume over the last 30 days. So that's one way that we can filter those out. And we can also filter those in ascending or descending order. So there, if we just clicked that, now it's showing us, now we're filtering drop in volume or an increase in volume. So there we see Mana against the Bitcoin pair with a monster surge in volume in the last 24 hours versus the last 30 days. So now if we were to use this as a trading strategy and we're looking for increases in volume, we can see what coins are showing increases in volume, and then we can either view market or we can go to our chart and look to see what the movement and direction and trend is. And you can plan your trade strategies around that. Same for right here against the price change. So we have 15-minute, the hourly, 24-hour, and the 7-day. Okay, so again, as the same with the volume. So it's showing us the percent increase or decrease over the last 15 minutes, percent increase or decrease over the last hour, over the last 24 hours, and over the last 7 days. So Mana has had a 68% push in the last 7 days. So it's got a pretty good, strong trend. So again, if we wanted to, let's just say in the last 7 days, let's look for coins that are showing strong trends. And of course, Mana is still on top. And we can see that their price increases over the last week. So we can see, let's just say Oaks right here, 22% increase over the last 7 days, over the last week. A little small drop in volume, but then we can use this information and we can take it to the chart and see if it's a coin that we want to play. Vice versa, if we want to look for coins that have seen pretty significant drops over the last 7 days, it might be time to look for an entry for a long position. And then you can also filter it that way as well. So we can look at ETC against Bitcoin pair. So we can look at Ethereum Classic against the Bitcoin pair, and we're looking at a weekly chart here since this is the price action over the last 7 days. So it's seen a 10% drop over the last 7 days, and it looks like the 15-minute and the hourly are showing very small, minute drops. So it might be a good opportunity to go and look for a quick long scalp. Okay, so that's one way that you can use this screener here. So up here at the top, this is a watch list that I've kind of already played around on and created. So if I wanted to create a watch list or add a coin to it, we can do two things. We can come up here, we can type it in, and we can choose whichever asset that we want to look at, whichever pair, and we can click the little star button right here where it says add to watch list when we go to that pairing, or you can see the star right here. So let's just say let's add Cork Chain here. So Cork Chain against the Bitcoin pair, I want to add that to my watch list, and you see that pop up right there. Now I can click on any of these on my watch list and it will immediately take me to the markets tab. And then the market tabs has all of the more in-depth stuff particular to this coin, which we'll get into in another episode. Okay, so let me go back and put my filters on. Okay, so another way that we can use the screener tab here is we can filter by indicators. So here we look at volatility. So what this will do, will filter out any coins that have plus or minus whichever percent that we choose over the last week of volatility. So if I choose, let's just say this 5% one, it'll show me any coin that has had plus or minus 5% or more greater volatility over the last week. And it goes all the way up to the monthly levels of plus or minus 20%, or all the way down to as little as 3%. So if you're a volatility trader, that might be useful to you. RSI, if you use RSI as an indicator, I do. We can also filter out by what coins are overbought and oversold at different levels. So for example, let's just look at overbought 60. Okay, and we can see that it's narrowed down our list to the coins that are showing that what are overbought over 60 on, I'm assuming this would be a daily time frame or 14-day time frame. Okay, so that's one way that you can also use this indicator, or this platform rather, excuse me. So if it's overbought or reaching overbought levels, you can use this information, this data that Alice has collected, and you can possibly look for short opportunities, or if you're spot trading, you can look for sell opportunities. It's like, okay, I'm reaching overbought. I may want to move my stop loss up. I may want to go ahead and close out my position and lock in my profits and sell. Vice versa, if we're looking for oversold, let's just say oversold 30. Okay, so our RSI has bottomed out, and let me go here to this. I'm watching Algo as I'm doing this here. Okay, so what do we have here? Oversold on 30. Okay, so oversold on 30 would be right down here below this purple box, and you can see down here, for example, Algo dipped right here below 30 into that oversold zone, and we can see that it started a new uptrend. Okay, so you can use the platform to identify oversold and overbought positions. So obviously in this case, if it's oversold deep down in that 30 or below zone, might be a good buying opportunity there. Okay, so we can filter that way, and you can use any combination. So we can find, let's just say that oversold 30 and also has 4% or more volatility, and we've really narrowed it down to just a single coin. Let me close that out. Okay, moving average price cross, price action traders, moving average traders. You can also filter out coins that are above or below the 20-day moving average and above or below the 50-day moving average. And again, so we're filtered by Binance, and we're only looking at coins that are below the 50-day moving average, and we got two of them right there. I'm actually watching Wabi as well. That's on my watch list. Just a side note. Bollinger Bands. If you're a Bollinger Band trader, you can also filter out what coins are above the upper band, above the middle band, or above the lower band. So let's go above the upper band. Okay, so Mana on Bitcoin. So let's look at Mana, and let's look at Bollinger Bands. Okay, so there we are. Okay, so here's our upper Bollinger Band, and we can see our price action quite nicely nestled up above that. So that fits nicely on our analytics that we got there. And that's exactly what we wanted to see, and that's exactly what this platform will show you. So again, if you're a Bollinger Band trader, you can use this information to plan your trade strategies. Same for fib levels. If you use Fibonacci, you can find coins that are in between certain fib zones that you are most comfortable with. I like to look down here. If I'm using the fib, we can add some in. It's not showing, it's not popping up anything. So it must be nothing happening between those fibs though. Okay, trend. You can also filter out and just simply make it easy on yourself. All right, so I want to filter out all the altcoins on Binance that are showing an uptrend. Okay, and you can, and then that'll generate your list for you. Okay, so let's look at, see what coins are in a, not neutral. Let's downtrend. Okay, so this will show you what coins are in a downtrend, so you can look for buying opportunities. Pretty simple stuff. Okay, Ichimoku above the cloud. If you're an Ichimoku player or trader, coins that are above the Ichi cloud. Okay, so again, here's Mana, since we already have Mana up. So let's turn off our Bollinger Bands and let's turn on our Ichimoku cloud. Okay, and there we are. There we are, quite nicely well above that cloud, just as the data has showed us. So pretty simple stuff, really interesting, and that's pretty much the screener here. So again, let's do a quick recap. We can filter out by exchange, we can add multiple exchanges in, we can filter out any particular coin that we want to look at in general. We can filter only by Bitcoin pairs, or we can see against Ethereum pairs or USDT pairs. Well, and of course there's also multiple other pairing assets up there. Again, also we can look at volume increases over the last 30 days, over the last 24 hours, and so forth, and price changes over multiple time frames, and of course it lists our last price over on the right hand side. And of course, again, as we mentioned before, we can also filter out using different indicators depending on what your trade style is. So if you have any questions, again, don't forget to resort to the knowledge base. A lot of pretty nice information in there to help guide you through this. And also there's these little question marks out here beside what each of these indicators are. And you can click right there on that tutorial, and it'll all bring you straight to bring you straight to this knowledge base, and it'll give you a walkthrough tutorial and explain what each of these do. Really neat, really simple, really well thought out platform. Okay, so that's the screener, guys. So play with that, see what you think. Go ahead and give these guys a follow here. This is Apex E3 HQ on Twitter. Okay, and there's a link to their website as well as their Discord, and to get your feet wet on this platform, playing with this beta version, they have a link directly on their Twitter, beta.apexe3.com, and you can take you to this platform, and you can sign up and you can play on it yourself. So stick around, stay tuned for episode 2, and we're going to get into the insights there. Later.